Yeah, I'm going to start this part way in. A lot of trouble with the broken wire on this 2008. I don't know, 3 years ago out in California, it broke. I rode it home with no ABS, and then it's bothered a couple of times. There's a wire in here that seems to be really fragile, and it's this wire with the blue stripe on it. There's two of them in here. I think the other one's got kind of a purple stripe on it. And if you follow these back to the ABS module, the plug-in on it, you know, I've used the ohm meters on it. This blue wire is the number 4 hole in the front side, and this purple wire is the number 3 hole. But it's the blue wire that seems to have had the problem. So what I'm going to do is I've had this apart I don't know how many times, and I'm just going to take this all back apart all the way back through. It's easiest to get to this screw if you unplug this part. And this is something to do with the ABS. And it plugs into this block, and this block doesn't go to anything. So I have no idea what that whole deal is about. But it just seems to be a continuous loop. And unless you can get into the frame or get in there to pull those 2 ears back, you can't get that damn thing out of there. So that's a real PETA. So I get to this for just another second, and then I'll show you how to get this wire out. I had to fool with it for quite a bit to get it out. There's a couple of pieces for it. One of them is this clip. Okay, and then you got probably these 2 arms off of these 2 ears that are on there. Other than that, I'll show you how to get this other one out here in just a minute. I'm not going to get too detailed about how all this stuff comes apart, but you can see, I don't know if you can see that hole up in there or not. I'll get a better light on it, but this has all been cut all the way back through. I think it's 2019 when I first had the first issues with it. And get this folded back out of the way. I'm not going to hook up a freaking magnet yet, I don't think. But anyway, let me cut this other wire tie. So with these wires out, this seems to be pretty good shape all the way from here back. All of the bending in the wire is up here in the front. So here again, this is the blue wire up here on the top, and then this is the purple wire underneath. And so I'm going to go back and I'm going to cut both of these wires out. One of them I'm going to switch over to a red wire 18 gauge, and the other I'm going to switch over to a green wire 18 gauge and run them up here. I'm going to cut these off about half, 3/4 of an inch up, about where my finger is here, and solder in 2 new pieces of wire on both of these, and then I'll put a shrink wrap over them. I don't know yet if I'm going to put a shrink wrap over the whole thing. The shrink wrap seems to be a little bit tight. Now, in here, right where my thumb is where the first break was, and you could feel it in the wire, the break. So, you know, I just put a butt connector in there a few years ago, and, you know, here we are. So I'm just going to replace these wires. And so let me see if I can pull this other one out with the camera right here. So these are stuck down in here, and you can see the washer in there. You can't get them out, but how this comes out, if you look at this onto, I don't know if you can see it with this pin, this part here, okay, if you shove the pin up in the thin side, you see the big hole here, shove this pin up into the big side, that will release that tab and you can pull that out. So I've got this marked that the purple wire goes to the right hand side as the clip is facing towards me. I really don't know if it all makes a difference or not, but that's the way I'm going to do it. So the blue wire goes over on the left side of this plug and the purple wire onto the right side. So as you can see, looking at this, all right, the ABS light is on solid. That means there is a fault within the system somewhere. So it's still back in one of these broken wires as I've got this all apart now. All right, I put a couple jumpers on here to bypass all this broken area of the wires. And as you can see, it is blinking the way it's supposed to blink. So if it's blinking, you know that ABS is working, and that'll stop blinking when the front wheel moves under the power of the bike and everything is adjusted. So somewhere in one of these leads, there's a broken wire all the way back through there. So let's see what we can do to patch it. All right, got them all put back together, got them all soldered, heat shrunk at the joints. I heat shrunk all the way down here. One of the things that you really got to make sure is you get the continuity right. If the continuity's not right, it ain't going to work. All right, so here we are with that. I'm going to just tape these up lightly just to hold the wires together, because they got to go all up in here, and I got to make sure I got enough slack for them so that I don't have this problem with this broken wire again. That it's been a kind of a PETA to track it down. Originally I thought it was right at the plug, but I haven't took the wires apart yet to see where the breaks are, but it is what it is at this point. It's all working. It's working the way it's supposed to work. Oh, got to be plugged in to work right. So I get her plugged in and we'll test her again. All right, I got it all back together. You can see this wire comes up over the top here. I wanted to have that nice and loose and a big loop in it so that there's nothing tight that's gonna hopefully break that wire. Still acting up just a little bit at the plug, but it might just be that plug is a little bit loose because it's been in and out so damn much. Anyway, that should do it. We'll see if it's going to work here now. Get that turned off. Go up here. And the light is blinking. Life is good. Now, if it'll work like that for the next 5 or 6 years there, I will be a happy camper. So that was the process I've been through. It's been to dealers since 2019 and all around, and nobody has got it. I don't, you know, I got the wires laying here someplace. Here's one of them that I'd looked at repairing before, but somewhere there's a break in them, and I don't know whether it's just cheap wire that they put in the damn things or what. It's a known issue on the 2008, I can tell you that. So however that works out, I have no idea, but it was a known issue, and I had it out in California when it broke, and they couldn't find it. They said it was this wheel sensor, and I fixed that, and I fixed this, and I checked that. I got it home, and I went back, and about inch or so in back of where they had taken the wire and harness apart up in here is where I found the break. And so I patched that, and it worked for 2 or 3 years, and you know, then it started bothering again last year. So hopefully that new set of wires from about here, someplace in here, up is going to solve the issue. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Good luck with your bike.